Hey everybody, Augustina Holtz with the Holtz Home Group, and I'm here with Wendy Bonany.
Yes.
And she is from
Top Flite Home Loans.
So we have some exciting news for you because a lot of things are going on in the real estate market and in financing and the mortgage rates and things. So we want to talk a little bit about that just to help you to see, I know at one time you were looking for a property. And even if at one time you weren't looking for a property, you might want to look for something now because there's a lot of opportunity in the market right now. So one of the things that we have to talk about is when you are looking, like a lot of people have some fears about looking for properties in this market or in any market. And we want to just kind of bust through the myths and the fears of what's going on and what people are thinking.
Okay. So, Augustina, if I were to say to you, I can't afford to buy a home right now, what would you say to that?
I would say, the fact is really, I don't know, you don't know if you can afford a home if you don't do the math. So it would be a good idea to sit down and look at, what your finances are and look for a professional like yourself to do that.
And then another fear is, oh, wow, I should really wait until the market gets better.
Oh my gosh, there's no better time than now to look for a property because there are so many opportunities on the market right now and you have your pick. So, yeah.
And you're going to talk about that a little bit later, right?
Talk about that.
Oh, but I don't have money for a down payment. Oh, what am I going to do?
Oh, no. Well, yeah. The fact is, there are a variety of down payment options, and that's where you come in again because you can talk about that.
Absolutely. And then, well, I don't think I can afford to buy a home because my credit isn't very good.
Well, Wendy, there are always options, and again, talk to your financial person, and I'm sure that you can figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what we're here for, is to help you work through all those questions. And it never hurts to have a conversation, right?
It never hurts to have a conversation. Right. So people always ask me, what's the market? What's going on in the market? I work primarily in Lee County, and the data just came in for the whole month of March 2025. Right now, the closed sales are down from last year. We had 1,383 closed single-family homes in Lee County alone. The median sale price is about, I want to say, $400, and that's down from a year ago. That's down over 5% from a year ago. Active inventory is close to 10,000 single-family homes are on the market right now, so you do have your choice. We've got 9 months of inventory, which we'll talk about in a minute. We've got new listings coming on the market. New listings are up 8.7% from last year.
Wow.
We've got 2,217 new listings on the market for March. Pending sales are down. We have 1,617 single-family homes pending.
So what do all those numbers really mean, Augustina? If I was thinking about it, it sounds to me like that creates a lot of opportunity for buyers. Is that what I'm getting out of those numbers? Or?
That's exactly what you're getting out of those numbers because of the high inventory on the market. You do have your choice. You can be picky now. And a lot of times sellers who really need to sell their property are willing to negotiate with you and give you some opportunities as far as helping you with maybe closing costs or giving you some help to get the property closed. So yeah, there are those situations. So best thing to do is if you are looking, just come on over and we'll help you.
Wow. So the next step for someone who's looking to buy would to secure some pre-approved financing. And, what we mean by that is we want you to get pre-approved versus pre-qualified, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But what we need to do is figure out what your budget's going to be. You also want to choose the right lender. The person for someone else, the person for someone else may not be the person for you. So you definitely want to talk with a couple people and align yourself with someone who is going to be looking out for your best interests. Talk to you, find out what your wants and needs are. Not only qualify you for what you actually can afford, but maybe you're not comfortable with that monthly payment. So we really want to fine tune those numbers for you and talk through that with you. What we do in the pre-approval process is we actually have you fill out an application. We do look at your debts and your income, and we want to find the right loan program that suits your particular needs. So that is what we do when we decide amongst what your mortgage options are. We also talk about different loan programs. Once we have you pre-approved, now you can get to the fun part, which is actually shopping for homes. And then the agent takes over from there. They'll show you things. Augustina will show you things that are in your price range and the neighborhoods you want to shop in. And then once you find that perfect place, Augustina will submit an offer on a contract. Once you're under contract, we kind of take over a little bit on the process by ordering an appraisal, getting title work done, which, make sure that you are purchasing the home with no other liens than what the mortgage would be. And then we get you to the closing table and you get your keys and move in.
Hooray,
So pretty exciting.
That's a happy day for everybody. So Wendy, the exciting thing that I wanted you to talk about was the mortgage rates now. Something is going on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, a lot of people are very rate sensitive and worried about the rates, and we can talk all day long about what the rates were back during COVID, which was an outlier. We also can talk about what the rates were in 1982. Well, we're now in 2025, and the market is what the market is. Unfortunately, I don't control the market and don't control the rates, but what I can tell you is that in the last 26 months, rates have pretty much stabilized. Over the last 26 months, we're at the same average rate today, for the most part, at 6.91 as we were at the end of 2022, which was just slightly over 7%. We did have a little bit of a peak in 2023. At the end of 2023, we ended, about a half a point lower than at the peak of 2023, but we've been holding steady since then. So when you look at the big scheme of things, rates pretty much are stable. Now, if we do head into a recession, rates may go down a little bit, but what happens to the purchase market, Augustina, when rates go down?
It's always a seesaw. If rates go down, property prices go up.
And buyers tend to flood the market, so you may not have the choice that you have today, where really you have your pick of homes. We get into a rate drop situation, and where buyers are flooding the market, we could get into bidding wars on homes. And if prices go up and rates go down, it usually ends up equating to each other. It's your same monthly payment. So the best option is to buy now. And if and when rates go down, we'll keep an eye on that for you, and we'll reach out to you and give you an opportunity to refinance. So really, you have the best of both worlds. You can choose the home you want, and we'll refinance you if the rates go down.
I think that's a great thing. So what's the difference, Wendy, between just getting pre-qualified for a loan and getting pre-approved?
Well, Augustina, a pre-qualification is just that. We just have a conversation with your client. We talk about what your income is, how much you have in assets, and we kind of give you a ballpark idea of what your monthly payment may or may not be. It doesn't give you an opportunity to actually get a pre-approval letter in your hand. And what is really important about that is if you're out shopping, number one, we don't have a solid number in place. So you may be looking at homes that are well beneath what you qualify for and are comfortable with, or you may be looking at homes that you don't qualify for. With the pre-approval, we actually pull your credit, so we want to see what your debts are per your credit report, but we only do a soft pull on the pre-approval, so there's no hit to your credit report. We do look at your income. I'm going to get pay stubs. We're also going to look at your assets. I want to see your bank statements. And if you don't have money saved, we can talk about options for that as well. So it's actually you are filling out an application. We look at everything, and I am able to issue a pre-approval letter. So if you're out shopping, number one, you're in the right price range. Number two, you've got that pre-approval letter in hand. So if you want to make an offer on something, you're not waiting and then having another buyer potentially take that house away from you because you're prepared and they weren't. So we want to make sure that you're prepared to do that.
And that does happen, by the way. Early on, when people just thought, oh yeah, just let's go look at houses, and then they find the house, and then we have to stop to get that pre-approval because we've just gotten kind of pre-qualified. It just happens. Wendy, how long does a pre-approval last for?
Well, typically our pre-approvals are good for 60 days, but the reason we say that 60 days is, and I always counsel people, once you get pre-approved, now is the time to put a hold on everything. We'll talk about that in just a minute too. We want to make sure that nothing in your income or credit changes. So if those 60 days go by and you haven't gone under contract or found your dream house, then we just refresh it. We say, okay, have you charged up any more on your credit? Please tell me you didn't go buy a new car. Please, please tell me you didn't do that.
Don't do it.
So we'll just take a look at things. I'll get updated pay stubs. If you've gotten a raise from work, we can always include that extra income. So, we just take a look at things for you.
And are there other types of mortgage options that you can talk about?
Yeah, so what we do while we're in that pre-approval process, and usually it only takes a day or two to get pre-approved. I think that's kind of important to talk about the timeline in that. And some folks who have unusual income or whatever, we want to go ahead and make sure underwriting reviews that file, and we'll get a full loan commitment so that really you're already approved and underwritten. We just need to get the property underwritten. But when we have those conversations, we talk about what's important to you. Is what's important to you the lowest possible monthly payment, the smallest down payment? Do you want to increase equity faster? Or are you looking for a loan that has the minimum amount of risk? So we look at all those things when we're doing the pre-approval.
Okay. So once we find a home, we then submit a purchase contract to the lender, and the contract's going to outline all the terms, all the conditions, all the contingencies for the sale of the home. For example, a contingency might be, I've got to sell my home before and use that money to purchase the other property. And Wendy, I know you have a lot of different options for that.
Yep, we sure do.
So when the time comes, we could talk about that. So keep yourself mortgage worthy. Some of the things that we want to talk about is, don't go buy the car. Don't buy the yacht. Don't buy anything. Just
don't buy furniture.
Don't buy furniture.
Don't open new credit.
Nope,
wait until after the closing to do all those things.
Wait. So closing
don't
costs.
Quit your job.
Don't quit your don't quit your job.
That's happened.
I know, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So and when we sit down to plan this, we'll remind you of that. We've got some closing costs. Closing costs usually are between 2 and 3% of 2 or 3% of the loan amount, and that includes your lender and your title fees and appraisal fees. Your earnest money is the money that it's like like promise money. That when you submit a contract and it gets accepted, you then have to put it. It's not like a down payment, but it is just an earnest money to say, yes, I'm interested and we're going to go through with the contract. We've got some fees. We've got appraisal fees, which are necessary when you do finance your property. We've got inspection fees. Inspection fees usually run between $300 and $500, depending upon the size of the house. Survey is always important as well. Tell us about survey and why it's important for the mortgage company.
So we want to make sure, and you want to make sure as a homeowner, so whether you're getting a loan or not, it's always a great idea. Well, with a loan, it's required to get a survey. The title company wants to make sure that there aren't things on your property that are encroaching on a neighboring property, but also you want to make sure that your neighbor's fence isn't on your property line as well. So that's what a survey helps do for you. And there are some other fees that are involved, and we have to set up an escrow account which pays for your property taxes and insurance when they come due and those sorts of things. Your first years of homeowners insurance is due at the time of closing. That needs to be paid in advance in order to cover you for the first year. And then you always want to keep a little money on the side, or, you don't want to like get rid of all your cash at closing, because you know that you're going to want to paint a room or plant a new bush or put a tree in the yard or something like that. You're going to be at Home Depot just about every other weekend.
Yes, you are.
Even if you buy a brand new home, you're going to want to make some improvements. So, we want to make sure that you've got some money left over for that as well.
And then after all this is done, you're going to move into your new home. We roll out the red carpet. I really do. I really do.
Yes, she does.
And you want to protect your investment. So you are going to maintain the property. You're going to perform routine maintenance on the home. You're going to make sure that you're not seeing any cracks in the ceiling. The carpets are good. If you have any cracked tiles, all of that stuff. Just keep an eye on everything and make sure that you're maintaining the property. It would be a good idea if you kept a file of receipts so that you know who you've worked with to help you maintain the house and how much you've spent. And it would be a good idea to consider a home warranty for your appliances and your air conditioning and all that, so that the fees aren't going to be exorbitant if something does happen. And we have all the resources for you. I've got all the contacts, I even have handyman. I got a handyman in my back pocket, honey. He'll do anything for you, okay? And just move in and enjoy your home. We'll be here with you from start to finish and beyond. Anything that you need, anything to service the home, come and have a cup of coffee. I'm always going to be checking in on you because I want to make sure you're happy. Wendy?
And I will too. And like Buzz Lightyear says, to infinity and beyond.
Awesome.
Right?
Have a great day, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to put the contact information for us there. Please do call us if you have any questions, and we'd love to be able to help you.
Take care.
Bye.